All right, and we are back here on the GSMC Football Podcast. And for the second part of the show, we're going to now talk about the general manager for the Bills, Brandon Beane, and what he had to say on the Bills' recent playoff exit to the Kansas City Chiefs. So, a couple of things that he had to say on the matter. He talked about how the loss stings, and it hurts for their fans, of course. He said, "Until you do it, you're always going to get questioned." I think that's the biggest quote. This is on just constantly losing to the Chiefs. It is what it is. We know that. We're aware of that. I don't think it takes away from the success, though. I think you have to not just look at it in a vacuum. You look around, you could be a team that's not made the playoffs in X number of years. We know this team went 17 seasons. So ultimately, the further you go, the worse it stings, and there's more eyes on you. There's more people watching each playoff game each season. Yes, we've now been to the AFC Championship twice. We've had some years where we fell short in the divisional round. We're right there, though. We're not getting blown out. If you tell me next year, I'll sign up for it to be in the AFC Championship game, down 3 with 3, whatever to go in the game, and we got number 17. I'll sign up for that again and take our chances. You've got to do a lot of things very well to be in that position. So a lot he said there. Yeah, I mean, it's true. You're always going to get questioned. This is now the fourth time that they have lost to the Chiefs in the playoffs, which is very hard to believe. But that's where we are right now. And you would have thought at some point that they would have knocked off the Chiefs. But that's just how good the Chiefs have been. Now, a lot of people will roll their eyes at that statement because, I mean, it's unbelievable. When I go on social media, the amount of people that are commenting, oh, yeah, the refs helped out Mahomes. Oh, the refs helped out the Chiefs. It's all over the place. So the Chiefs just get no credit. They get no credit at all. The only reason why they're good is because of the refs, right? Is that what we're saying? I don't think so. You know what it is? It's because the Chiefs play in these tight games. And because maybe there's a flag or two here or there that doesn't go the opposing team's way, it goes in the Chiefs' favor. It's like, oh, well, that's why the Chiefs won. Now, I will admit there were some flags this year that you could say, well, it's because of that they won. I'll give you the Bengals game earlier this year when it was a fourth down. Mahomes threw something up to make something happen, and then there was a pass interference call. They got into field goal range, and they won the game. I'll give you that. But you can't say that the Chiefs are only good because of the refs. You can't. And James Cook even spoke out on it, too. The Buffalo Bills running back, he spoke out on it. And I'm not going to say exactly what he said, but the refs narrative is ridiculous. The Bills had an opportunity to go into Kansas City and win that game. Game is defined by more than just a couple of plays. It's just the Chiefs, they play in these close games. So, you know, when an official makes a call in a big moment, yeah, that could be a huge deal. And we saw that on Sunday. Because that first down that Josh Allen was just short of getting, which, again, I thought he got it. Jim Nantz thought he got it. Tony Romo thought he got it. Gene Steratore thought he got it. But apparently he didn't get it. I thought he got it. Now, it's not the best angles. It's a huge pile, but I thought he was able to get it, but apparently not. Apparently not. And Josh Allen has played great in these games, but he's always on the losing end. And at this point, I got to see it to believe it. You know, I mean, Brandon Beane, of course, is going to defend his quarterback. And that, you know, hey, I'll take that scenario every time. With time left on the clock, Josh Allen's got to go down the field and either tie the game or win it. I get it. But it just seems like that never happens. Whether it's because of a coin toss, whether it's because of a missed field goal, or, it's just the Chiefs being able to make a play. One more play than Josh Allen's able to make. Because, I referenced the Tyler Bass missed field goal, the divisional round, which was one of the greatest playoff games ever. Josh Allen didn't even touch the ball in overtime. And that's why they changed the overtime rules for the Bills. And the Bills have not played an overtime playoff game since that got implemented. And then, of course, they had an opportunity here. Go down the field and at least tie the game. And they weren't able to do it. They were not able to do it. And it's not all on Josh Allen, because I know people are complaining about the play calling as well. But they had a chance. They had a chance. And it goes back to that conversation. When are they going to break through? Just got to keep chugging away at it. Because they have the quarterback. Obviously, the roster isn't the best. And you could look at Josh Allen as being the main reason why this team, makes the playoffs every year. And especially this year, because not a lot of people had the Bills performing well. Now, I was originally heading down that path, but then I came back and I was like, nah, this team is going to make the playoffs. I just didn't have them winning the division. But they can go into this offseason. You add another receiver maybe. You work on the defense. Because the defense definitely needs some work. Look at what happened after Christian Benford went out. They picked on that corner Elam all night. They got to patch up the defense. And then just hope that it breaks your way. And it's just amazing how Josh Allen and the Bills do, how well they do against the Chiefs in the regular season. And then in the postseason, it is the complete opposite. They can't beat him. Well, really nobody can. And once again, I found myself watching the AFC Championship game between the Chiefs and the Bengals. I still can't wrap my head around the fact that the Bengals won that game. The Chiefs were destroying them. Mahomes and that offense was moving up and down the field. And then all of a sudden, the game changed on a dime when the Bengals stopped Tyreek Hill at the end of the first half. And then Mahomes was turning the ball over, and the Bengals were moving up and down the field. And then all of a sudden, you go into overtime, Mahomes throws a pick, and then the Bengals win the game. And then, obviously, the Burrowhead stuff started, and then the Chiefs beat them the following year. But, fans will complain about that because Mahomes got pushed out of bounds, and then there was a late flag. But again, they were playing in a very close game. It's just, I don't know who it's going to be. I said before the year started that the Bengals had the best chance to knock off the Chiefs, simply on the fact that they have done it before. They're the only team that has done it. Not the only team. The Patriots have done it, and the Buccaneers, but that's because Tom Brady was the quarterback. Tom Brady's not playing anymore. So really, it's the Bengals. And the Bengals didn't even make the playoffs. And we'll talk about the Bengals a little bit later in the show. Talking about their wide receivers. But that's who I thought had the best chance. They didn't make it. So it was going to be, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. They played against each other in the divisional round. Allen knocked off Lamar. And it was up to Josh. And he fell short again. Now, maybe if the Chiefs get their three-peat, then maybe you'll start. Maybe you'll see the Chiefs kind of let their guard down and be like, all right, we made history. We three-peated. We're good. Honestly, though, I mean, no, they're not going to think that. Because how much you want to bet that if they win, you're going to hear them say, now we're going to be the first team to four-peat. They'll start thinking that. I mean, they were already talking about three-peating at the parade last year. So, yeah, it's tough for these teams because there are some really good quarterbacks in this league. Very talented. The most talented we've probably ever seen. Well, at least in my lifetime. But you know what they don't have? They don't have the hardware. Mahomes is the only one out of this generation of quarterbacks that has won. For everybody else, they're behind. And Josh Allen's one of them. And you know what? I still want to believe that Josh Allen, he's going to win a ring. Lamar Jackson's going to win a ring at some point. Joe Burrow's going to win a ring at some point. But when is that going to happen? The Bills are right there. The Bills are right there. The Ravens are right there. The Bengals, they need to get back there, but they will. They got to fix that defense. And we'll see what happens with T. Higgins again. We'll talk about that later. But they got to figure some things out. So, let me know what you guys think, though, about what Brandon Beane had to say. More thoughts on the AFC Championship game. Let me know in the comments. Before we go to break, just want to remind you guys once again to tip or donate and get your comments recognized. Make sure to hit that super chat button in the chat if you want to see me acknowledge any thought or comment you may have throughout the live broadcast. It makes the show more lively, more entertaining. Between myself, the host, and you guys, the viewers, we appreciate you guys' viewership each and every day, so any contribution you can make to the show means the world to us as we put out content for you guys each and every day. And also, the other way to help out the show is by going to the link at the bottom of the show segment on the ticker, GSMCPodcast.net. That is GSMCPodcast.net. So when we come back from our next break, we will talk about, is there a potential Russell Wilson-Pete Carroll reunion in the works? We'll get into that conversation when we come back. So with that being said, stick around, and we'll be right back here on the GSMC Football Podcast.